David Zritsky for the Bond Experience. Welcome back. So it wasn't too long ago when we received some news, and I wanted to talk about that news today as part of this video. You see, I woke up one morning and, well, the world was on fire, seemingly. First of all, some people saw a news that was on Instagram. I received a press release, and I get these press releases from Omega. I'm very lucky, but usually they come before the rest of the world sees it. So I quickly opened it up and saw Aaron Taylor Johnson becomes ambassador for Omega. And I kind of froze for a second, as I should as a Bond fan. And I clicked on and I saw all these incredible pictures. I saw pictures with Aaron Taylor Johnson in a killer Tom Ford suede jacket. I saw him kind of looking at a whole series of different things within the museum in Bienne, Switzerland, where clearly this announcement and PR happened. Then I saw him with the head of Omega, who we know, and it just was kind of that lab moment where everybody's in lab coats, and even a great shot of him with the loop in it. And we just, well, as a fan, as a Bond fan, as somebody that has followed the whole Aaron Taylor potential of being James Bond discussion, I got excited. So I read through the PR, I read through the interview, the notes, etc., and I got more excited. And I decided to jump onto Instagram, where guess what? The world was excited. And why not? I mean, I'm taking a moment, as you can see, to do this video in front of my Omega shrine. Would you call it a shrine? I feel like if I call it a shrine, then some people, they come and take me away, or there's an intervention. It's not so much a shrine as much as it's an homage. It's a museum. It's a museum within a museum of my appreciation, adoration for Omega. Heck, I'm even wrist roll. I'm wearing my Spectre Omega watch. You say Omega, I say Omega, Omega, Omega. Let's call the whole thing off. That's how you lose audiences. But back to the discussion, I'm a huge fan. And any of you watching this right now, I feel like you have all followed the journey of Omega through the movies, but we haven't had a lot to eat lately. And what I mean by that is, we got a little rumbly in our tumbly. We're like Winnie the Pooh. We need some honey. And our honey, our sweet, sweet, viscous honey, why did I go down this analogy path, is Bond news. And for those of you that have followed along for months, heck, maybe even years, we know that Aaron Taylor Johnson has been a potential James Bond actor for a very long time. It may have started years ago during the 007 Sound of Music, where he showed up. He was with Barbara Broccoli, and he was taken along, and allegedly there was lots of discussion, where there's smoke, there's fire, types of discussion that he had, he had basically tried out for the part, and he was well into the mix, and they were just keeping it quiet for the right time. All those things we've heard before. But there was a wrinkle, or there is a wrinkle, or is it even a wrinkle? And that wrinkle is Amazon. Now, as much as you could say that Aaron Taylor Johnson defensively was probably being considered, or final considerations for James Bond, that felt like it was under the umbrella of Eon. Those were the decisions of Barbara Broccoli, Michael G. Wilson, maybe Greg Wilson, maybe Debbie McWilliams. Gosh, you know all the names, David. Well done. But that was Eon, and that almost feels like it was eons ago. Excuse the pun, because now Amazon is in the house. Amazon in the house. Don't do that, David. Amazon's in the house. And because of that, we have to take a look at what Amazon might do. Well, one thing I don't think that they will do is replicate what Eon was thinking about or doing. I think they're going to do their own thing because they do not want this next Bond movie to come out and everybody to say, oh, well, they just replicated what Eon did. No, they're gonna draw their own line in the sand and do their own thing. A part of that, I would imagine, would be not to get the same actor that Eon was so focused, so laser focused considering. That probably would not be the way to go. And yet, David, as much as you think that, and much as you think that Aaron Taylor Johnson and all the ones that were bandied about potentially with this tight connection with Eon would not be considered because of Amazon, well, then I got this news and I had to drink it in. Now, there were different groups that reacted to this news. All right. So you had the group, of course, that said, oh, that's it. It's over. He's Bond. He's James Bond. Omega announcing an ambassadorship. It's more than a soft opening. It's like a hard opening of him being James Bond. Now we just got to wait and see for Amazon to show up. Where you at, Amazon? Where you at? Is it a week? Is it a month? When is they? Because now it's a done deal. You had people like that, all right? Then you had the other side that said, oh, that's it. There's no way he's James Bond because a company like Amazon, any company, especially a new owners of this IP and this brand, would never let any company, even a prolific, well-known luxury brand like Omega, announce their new Bond actor. No. They would do it with tons of pomp and circumstance. It would be Amazon that would do that. Maybe they would have the leaders of Amazon do that in correlation to the new director and the new writers and, who is the new staff. Oh, yes, and the new Bond. So there's no way that Aaron Taylor Johnson could be our new James Bond now, because Omega would have taken that moment away, that vital moment to get that push out there to the rest of the world. But then you have a third group. You do. You have a third group. The third group is, well, this is highly interesting. You know what? I'd like to believe it. I don't know if I believe it. I'm going to take a wait and see. So you have this kind of moderate group, if you will. So what did I do? What did I do? Well, I am, if nothing else, I am a observer. I'm an analyst, a researcher, if you will, of James Bond. I have time, as you know. Imagine if somebody came along and said, you have 24 hours of the day, but I'm going to add 4 more hours. Now you have 28 hours. And I feel like I'm that person because I don't sleep a lot. So 3 in the morning, what am I doing? I'm doing research. And so I put up a poll. I saw all this activity going up. I mean, you could literally just doom scroll on Instagram that day, and it was like nothing but Aaron Taylor Johnson in that amazing brown and now sold out leather jacket, right? Just doom scroll, and it was just him. So I said, I want to get an idea of how the Bond community is feeling. So I put up a poll in my stories, got a lot of activity, and it was which one of you with this Aaron Taylor Johnson news? Are you A? Oh, he's James Bond. That's it. It's over. He's James Bond. Are you B? I'm excited, but you know something? I'm going to wait for a little bit because I'm also a bit dubious. I'm kind of right there in the middle. Or are you C? There's no way he's James Bond. No way. And the lowest percentage in that poll was C. There's no way he's James Bond. And it really made me understand a few things. Number one, we are, if nothing else, a positive and hungry group. We desperately want to believe A, which is this is our new James Bond, and have some relief. Because it would be a bit of a relief. We want news, just something that we can connect to harden the target. We want who the actor is going to be so we can go to sleep at night and go, Aaron Taylor Johnson. We want it because it's restful. Right? We don't like mystery. In mystery, we have fear, which is why the scariest movies don't show the monster. It's the fearful, it's the shadow of the monster, it's the claw, it's the introduction of the monster that's the scariest. Then when you see the monster, you're like, it's a guy in a suit with a zipper. Meh. So we want the mystery to be taken out of it. We want the news. So people are so desperate. And it had a huge percentage, that choice. But for those that are in the C camp of, oh, he's probably not going to be Aaron Taylor Johnson, confession, I'm one of those guys. Now, there are those out there that have said, there's evidence of soft launches around James Bond using, for example, watches or other brands, especially with Omega. They've done these soft launches of information and news. And yes, even with Daniel Craig, diphthong, Craig. They've done that before. But I will say this. If you think about Amazon, Amazon is driving to an entirely new James Bond world. They're creating something very new. And in doing that, I'm hard pressed to feel like they would let any brand usurp, really, truly usurp that moment from them, take that moment from them. I think that Amazon is going to pull out all the stops when it comes to announcing James Bond and what the new world is going to look like. And that includes the actor. And so to have this soft, subtle launch, which may have worked before, they're going to go in a very different direction. They're going to zig when others zag. And a part of that zag is is going to be the pomp and circumstance around it. I think there's going to be pre-launches to that. I think there's going to be parties. There's going to be reveals. But Amazon's going to have 100% of control of that. They're not going to go to a company like Omega or any company and say, you know, what would be cool is let's give people a hint. I feel like Amazon truly wants to own that, what's inarguably going to be called a bombastic moment. And that's part of their marketing. Their marketing zeitgeist is about ownership, and it's about doing things their way, many times in an innovative way, but certainly from a world expansion standpoint, the world of James Bond, doing it in a subtle way like that does not seem like their personality. It just doesn't seem like the personality of not just Amazon as a company, but Amazon as a marketing, licensing agent of so many different properties. And now they have this crown jewel and they're going to hand it over to Omega to potentially be the one to leak that out. It just doesn't make any business sense. I truly think probably what has happened, all speculation, no knowledge whatsoever, but just being a marketer. You know, I'm a marketer, know something about the marketing world. I know I'm a positive person, nearly kumbaya-ish as I've been called. You know, just keeping the positive Bond end up is part of my mantra. But here's the but part. I believe what may have happened is Omega has found out, for example, that Aaron Taylor Johnson's not going to be our James Bond. But being shrewd business people, being incredible marketers in and of themselves, they probably thought to themselves, you know something? There is so much positive residue. I know, residue. Positive momentum around Aaron Taylor Johnson, not just as a young actor doing lots of things, getting more roles, being in very prolific films, obviously outside of Bond, but yes, impossible to ignore the association or the speculative association with James Bond. What if we were to make him an ambassador? It serves so many purposes and criteria. You know, he's young, he's good looking, he's in shape. You know, it's part of that emulation type marketing that we love so much. He's in a lot of things existing. He's in a lot of things coming out. I mean, talk about going from Kick-Ass to where he is today. Amazing. Oh, and there's that little rumor about James Bond. So imagine until the James Bond, the real James Bond actor is announced, people are going to be speculative and go, you know what? He's going to be Bond because the higher percentage believe that. You saw the poll. I talked about the poll. And I believe that's the general audience. They're probably saying to themselves, you know something? I'm going to get Bond's watch or the Bond to be. And notice that Omega chose him to wear and focus on something that was one of their best sellers. You know, it's not this new polka dot aquaterra, you know, in crocodile, you know, Milanese strap. I mean, it's nothing overtly new. It's I'm not going to say basic because there's nothing basic about Omegas, but it's something that we've gravitated to. It's part of their historical fabric. It's a watch that sells incredibly well time and time again. So imagine having a really good selling watch and then all of a sudden you put this rocket fuel into it and then put a rocket engine on the back of it, call it Aaron Taylor Johnson and send it into space. Now that's going to outpace Bezos's rocket. See the Amazon correlation? It's weak. It's weak. I know. Not a lot of coffee in me. But My point being is that this was an incredibly smart PR shrewd news. If they had done this with Aaron Taylor Johnson 2 weeks after the new Bond actor was announced by Amazon, it would be like, oh, okay, that's the guy that we were speculating for a long time. And Aaron Taylor Johnson's pretty cool. And, he's a good looking guy and this and that. And yeah, it's cool. No, this is just, there's so much resonance to this announcement. And we're guilty. I'm guilty. I posted that day. I was excited. And I will tell you something. I'm going to have a little blunt instrument comment here. There are some people out there who were like, don't post about this. It's fake. It's a PR move. And guess what? Why not? Like, we have nothing else until we have concrete news from Amazon to speculate and have fun. So why wouldn't we have fun talking about these things? Even for those of you like me, these jaded marketers that think chances are this means he's not James Bond. Why wouldn't I allow my channel a platform for others to get excited and talk about it and not pour cold water over them? Now, more confession. I used to be the type of channel that would say to people, hey, stop, don't go there, because here's what I know. I want to have fun. Maybe it's age, maybe I've mellowed, but I want people to have fun. So the speculation is part of the fun. I don't understand why people don't want to speculate or they want to pause or dismiss or neutralize people. Don't. Why? This is what we have. If we don't have these videos like we're doing right now, what do we have? We've got a long wait. So how do we fill that gap with excitement and information like that? Now, listen, it's like the entity, right? Omega is counting on that excitement and these types of conversations. But I'm here to feed the beast. And it's not to feed the coffers of Omega, it's feed the beast of us, of wanting more information. So, yeah, I will tell you one thing as I stand here, that this is what my friends and I sort of live for. Now, I'll tell you something you didn't know, couldn't have known. I have a private texting thread with my, like, you know what texting is, David? Why do you need to do the thumbs things? It's like overkill. With my friends, and I mean close friends. I have lots of acquaintances. You're an acquaintance. Hey acquaintance, how you doing? But I have really close friends. I mean, close friends I've had for like 15, 20 years in many cases. And we have a thread together. We probably hit each other up 10 times a day without exaggeration. And that's probably at a minimum. And it's all, Bond related, Bond community, or just chatting about, kids, whatever it is. And that day it was a flurry. And I don't mean the Dairy Queen treat. This was something where we were just texting back and forth. What do you think it means? We were speculating. Where's the jacket from? All those things. And it was fun. For 2 days, we had an extreme amount of fun. And it's quelled a little bit. I don't know if I feel comfortable saying the word quelled. I do. But it's calmed down a little bit. But in that time, my friends and I had so much fun. And we were talking about other people observing things on the internet. And we took that little bit of evidence. What this Aaron Taylor Johnson announcement has done, if nothing else, it has not so much told us who is going to be James Bond, because I don't think it's told us that. Even if you were the most positive individual, like he's Bond, it hasn't, this though, it hasn't really told you he's going to be James Bond. Like there isn't like this little thing at the bottom and goes, we're so excited to have Aaron Taylor Johnson as the ambassador, as the new James Bond for Bond 26. No. There's nothing. So there's nothing that's 100% certain. So even if you're like Ivory Soap, 99.99% pure and sure that he's going to be the new Bond, you can't be 100% sure. Just like I can't be 100% sure he's not going to be James Bond. But what I can be 100% sure is this really started a lot of fun discussion. And it's relatively harmless. Now, if you go out and buy that watch based on the fact that you believe he's James Bond, the worst thing that's going to happen to you, the very worst thing that's going to happen to you is you are going to have an unbelievable watch. That is the worst side effect. And if you read the little inscriptions on package inserts of drugs and drug interactions, there's ones that will kill you. And this won't kill you. And my point being is that Let's keep having these conversations. Let's keep speculating. Let's do polls. Let's post on Instagram. Let's research this stuff, and let's keep having conversations, because this Aaron Taylor Johnson one is a fun one. It's a connected one. It drives the community together. So at the next cocktail hour, which is coming up pretty shortly, that I'm going to be going to the next bond, we have something to talk about. And yes, I'm searching for that Tom Ford jacket. For any of you out there that know where I can get a hold of that jacket, Tom Ford's researching for me. They're looking in their back warehouses desperately. But this is just part of the fun of action. So, in conclusion, because you need like a strong opinion, like, Your Honor, the defense closes, the defense rests. In conclusion, I do not believe this means that he is James Bond. I'm now 75, 80% sure he won't be James Bond, and that percentage is entirely made up. Do you know that 18% of all percentages are made up, including that percentage? Think about it. Think about it. So, but, we continue to get news, and it's news that's taken from other things and pushes it forward. This is what we glom to. This is what we do. And without it, we're just a quiet bunch of people waiting by our TV set or our computer or our phone for news. And how boring is that? So I'll keep these going. What's your opinion? I need to ask, right? You're going to tell me regardless. Do you think this means that Aaron Taylor Johnson, despite everything that I've said, is the new James Bond? Are you rethinking it? Are you kind of moderate? Are you kind of straddling the line a little bit? Where do you fall in the continuum of these things? I want to know. I will read every single one of those. And of course, we'll keep these conversations going. In the meantime, according to my Omega watch, I need to go. So I'll talk to you soon. In the meantime, this has been David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. We'll see you all real soon. Take care. Thanks for watching The Bond Experience. If you like what you saw, why don't you subscribe to the channel by clicking this button right here. We'll keep you up on everything new that's happening in the world of Bond. And speaking of something new, here's something new just for you, because we know you so well. Talk to you soon.